Forgotten Sons, bro. He made that one tweet. Remember the one, and that was it. Game over. It was game over right there, bro. For all of them, it was game over.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here with yet another episode of Writing with Russo with my guy already. He's ready to rock every single time with the bouncies, man. I love it.
I got it in real quick.
It's real quick. Okay, here we go. Writing with Russo. Cool, man. Well, you know, we gotta turn gimmicks into gimmickade, and we gotta make some jests. But unfortunately,
I got to tell you a little story because before we came on the air, you were asking me about Ohio State.
Yes, I asked him. I said, Vince, are you officially an Ohio State?
I got the jersey. I got the jersey, bro. I got to tell you a great story that cracked me up today, bro. Thursday, I do my show with Stevie Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he is a ridiculous Steeler fan.
Okay.
And you know they had that game against the Lions. The Lions didn't win a game all season, and Pittsburgh wound up tying them.
Yeah,
bro, Stevie was so upset he canceled all his podcasts for the week.
Wow.
Can you imagine, bro?
Well, I'll be upset too because Detroit was 0-8, man.
0-8. Yeah, but Chris, I don't think after Ohio State loss, you cancel all your podcasts for the week.
I wouldn't, but I used to be really bad, Vince. Like I used to cancel my day. Like if they lost a noon game, like I would cancel my day because Ohio State lost. It was pretty bad, man. Like about 10 years ago or so. And I really was like, man, I gotta tone this down. This is like really bad. But
anyway.
Well, you know, we were trying to get some jest out of this moment, out of this show, out of this particular episode. Because unfortunately, we actually had something ready to rock. Vince and I discussed the topics before we talk about them. We actually had something ready to go. And then, you know, breaking news, we received some information about a new wave of releases. And wow, I mean, just a few weeks ago, we had some very surprising releases. And just a few months ago, we had more releases. And so it's been just a crazy second half of 2021.
And also keep in mind, it's Thursday night.
Yeah.
So there's a likelihood tomorrow's Friday, bro. Friday's usually the day. So it's very likely there may be more tomorrow.
Yeah. Very sad. So far, the names that have been confirmed, we're going to start with Hit Row. That's one of the biggest announcements of the people who are gone. Hit Row, they were just an NXT. Swerve Scott was just an NXT North American champion. They, for some reason, said, oh, okay, we're going to put Hit Row on the main roster. And a few weeks later, B-Fab, the female valet, she gets let go. And then just a couple weeks later, the stable gets let go. All three of them. Ashanti Adonis, Top Dollar, the bigger guy who was hosting the Treasure, and Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Let me ask you a question. With the female that was let go, was there personal ties to the two males?
No. She came from the PC, and they very athletic, very,
because I'm just curious. So, I'm just curious, bro, because this is how things happen sometimes. I'm wondering if when the female was let go, the two dudes said something, and then literally weeks later, it works like that sometimes, bro. Because my question would be, why didn't you release them all at once?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were featured on SmackDown in just really weird segments. I mean, they had one with Sami Zayn, and they were just in odd segments. It seemed like they were trying to kind of book them as baby faces, and I wasn't necessarily opposed to that, but at the same time, people don't know who Hit Row is or was. They had a couple of vignettes leading to their debut on SmackDown, but it just was really odd. They came from NXT as they were heels, and then they come in as baby faces, kind of, and it was just really weird. They really never gave Hit Row the opportunity to really gain an identity on the main roster, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I just wonder if that's the way it went down, though, because the timing of that is odd.
Yeah, I can see that. So Shane Thorne,
Crowbar, T-Bar, T-Bone.
we just slap bone.
We just went through that off the slapjack.
It's funny because Vince and I, we were trying to figure out his name of Retribution. We were like, no, that's not. No, because Dio Madden and Donovan Dijak is Mason T-Bar. Slapbone, crowbar. No, not fishbone. Slapjack. That's what it is. Slapjack.
Oh, poor Slapjack, man. Bro, can we be honest here for a second, bro? Bro, if you're naming a wrestler Slapjack, what are the odds of the dude making it? Like, seriously, what are the odds of Slapjack is the next Stone Cold? Slapjack versus Brock Lesnar. Like, what are the odds of that, bro?
Just imagine, because I in my head, I think like a name has to have like I call it the Howard Finkel effect. All right.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
So it's like I always put everything in the psychology. So the Howard Finkel effect is it has to be a name that is marketable enough for Howard Finkel to put it over for the and new, right?
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, and new WWE World Champion Slapjack.
You're never gonna hear that in our lifetime, bro. In our lifetime, let's be honest, we're never gonna hear that, bro.
Slapjack does not pass the Howard Finkel effect.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So, it's pretty much DOA. You know what I mean? When it came to that Retribution, of course, everybody's just kind of trickling down. I mean, Mia Yim's gone.
What a disaster.
Mason T-Bar split up. It's just, I mean, Ali's trying to babyface with Mansoor, then heals it up just for Saudi, and now he's just kind of in the shuffle. It's just really sad. And Shane Thorne was just, I mean, he was just sitting and catering, just trying to find a spot after Retribution. So he hasn't been utilized anyway. So it's not a surprise that he's gone, but it's unfortunate because he was, he had a lot of potential, and it's sad to see somebody like a Shane Thorne who had a bunch of potential, and he was in NXT and he actually did pretty decent, before he got called up. And
again, Chris, just going back to the money invested in all these people just flush down the toilet, one right after another. We're talking about millions of dollars, bro.
Yeah. You know what, man? How I talked about the vignette curse, right?
Yep.
Retribution. They had weeks and weeks. Vignettes, and man, I'm telling you, those vignettes. I'm telling you, Veer Mahan. You better watch out, man. You better watch out. Watch out, Veer.
I'm gonna say, rest in peace, Slappy.
Yes, indeed. Sad to see, man. As a matter of fact, I'll even one up you, man. I'll give him one of these.
I like that. Very nice.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Slapjack, man. So Jaxson Ryker's next. That's your guy, man. When he was Gunner in TNA, I mean, he just looks like $1 million. He's he's a veteran. I mean, he's just ripe for the picking for any type of. I mean, Veterans Day was just past us. I mean, that would have been a perfect idea to.
Bro, this goes back to they had who were the three guys, bro? What was the name of that team?
Hit Row.
Forgotten Sons. No, Forgotten Sons.
Forgotten Sons.
Forgotten Sons, bro. He made that one tweet. Remember the one, and that was it. Game over. It was game over right there, bro. For all of them, it was game over.
Yeah, the tweet that really jacked him up. The other two got let go, and he was just. It was unfortunate, that, and they were trying to push Forgotten Sons for a second, but brought him up to the main roster. That tweet jacked him up a lot, but he had more equity, so to speak, than the other two. And then they kept him, but did an Elias thing, tried to bring him back, and then they split from Elias. I don't understand why that happened. Just for him to be kind of a baby face and beat Elias a couple times, and then now Elias is nowhere to be found, and he was running around the 24/7 mob. You've got this jacked up 250-pound freak, you know what I mean? Like running around with 24/7 people.
And this is the guy, bro. All the military guys, Chris, like in the back, all those guys are yes or no, sir. Like these are the kind of people you want on your team. Correct. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. I fell in love with that guy when I worked with him at TNA, bro. To the point, I may actually call him and see if he's interested in doing his own podcast.
Oh, very nice.
Because bro, there are guys that you would want. Like I would have taken a million Kurt Angles. Yeah. Like there are just guys that you want on the. He's one of those guys, man.
Yeah. You know, I've interviewed him before, and he's a super nice guy to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I have no issues with him. Unfortunate. You know, I mean, he had certain views. You know, what I mean that didn't gel well with the PC type of society that we're dealing with. But you're under the scrutiny of anything when it comes to social media. And working for WWE as an independent contractor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right, exactly.
You're under the scrutiny of that too, and unfortunately so. So next we have Teagan Knox. Teagan Knox didn't really have much steam coming up to the main roster. NXT, I think she should have went back to NXT. She had a ton of potential in NXT. She was actually having some really good opportunities in NXT. I don't understand why WWE doesn't give people an opportunity to go back to NXT instead of just let them go. Because Teagan Knox would have been that person who I would have just went back to NXT. It was a bad call to bring her up anyways.
Yeah, I think, bro, I don't think they look at NXT as a moneymaker. I really don't. So I think, if they're paying her X amount of dollars, bro, they'll get somebody that they're paying half of that. Yeah, I don't think they're looking at NXT as a moneymaker, bro.
That's true. Yeah, I can see that. Teagan Knox she wasn't high enough from the pecking order to seem like she made a lot anyways. And I'd imagine she would have been open to a pay cut in order to establish her name. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you got to make those decisions to kind of refresh your brand, and I think for Teagan Knox, that would have been something that I imagine she would have been interested in. Now it's just like, where does she go from here? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know where she goes from here. Next, we got Drake Maverick. For the second time, they released him the first time, then he was doing really, really good job during the Cruiserweight tournament. Made it to the finals, I believe, and then Triple H gave him a contract, during that after the match, and he cried, and he was, he was able to finish the tournament after they announced that he released, and then Triple H gave him a contract, and he, again, someone who they never gave an opportunity. He started teaming up with, what's his name from Sanity.
Slapjack.
What's his name?
Slapjack.
No, Slapjack.
I'm sorry. I'm
Slapjack. Yeah. Fishbone. Killian Dane. Yeah. Nikki Cross's husband. So that was an interesting tandem there, but that really didn't have much.
But again, bro, I'm going to tell you, man, I was, bro, his act with EC3 at TNA, bro. These guys, they proved he got it. He got it. Yeah, this guy gets it. Drake gets it.
Oh yeah,
you drop the ball. This guy gets it. He knows what he's doing.
But it was a really good when he was Dixie Carter's,
great.
Like peasant, so to speak.
Yes.
It was
every week his hair was higher and higher and higher. That was tremendous, bro.
I agree. Yes. I could see a reunion with EC3 and
I
Spud.
hope so. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. At
I
all.
can see that. It would be good for business.
Yeah.
Finally, we have probably the most shocking one, I would say, out of all of them would be John Morrison. John Morrison was among this list. Now, it's not shocking in the sense of where he is now, because he's been finding his inner chi and stuff like that on Raw, and just again another DOA attempt to. You have to think. John Morrison, I've talked to him plenty of times. Very nice guy, very outspoken in a sense. And so it's actually pretty surprising to me that he didn't say anything, or Vince, he might have been let go because he did say something, because he was like, man, this cheese stuff has got to go. It's ridiculous.
Well, also that, bro. But on top of that, again, just like the earlier act, wasn't his wife released?
Yeah. On the last batch.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just weird to me that you wouldn't release a husband and a wife at the same time, a threesome at the same time, unless you release a part of that. The other part says something, and well, you know what? Why don't you join her? You know what I mean? Just very, very odd, you know.
And to your point, Vince, they were giving him television time, so he wasn't just sitting back waiting, and then they were just like, okay, we don't have anything for you.
Right.
They were trying to. He was in segments on Raw, you know. So it seems like, you know, they're having this wave of releases. I would say that there's people on the roster right now, and Morrison definitely wasn't on a good level, but he was just tag champ not too long ago. He was teaming with The Miz. He was in a pretty solid spot, and just to be in this space now and being let go, I'm like, you know, it seems as if maybe, you know, this is just pure speculation. It seems as if he said something about Valkyrie, Frankie Monet leaving, and that was just kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially. So he was at this point, unfortunately, he was expendable anyways, because he, you know, there wasn't a big spot for him. He was just in Raw segments backstage. So my thing is, I think that if somehow this chi thing or this would have worked somehow, you got to be selective. You got to know when to say it. You know what I mean? You got to know when to say something, because right now it's just like, what are you doing? You know, see you bye. But I think if he would have been in a bigger spot, it's like, for instance, someone like the Usos, you know, they've, I'm glad that they haven't lost their job, but they've had multiple, you know, driving violations.
Right.
And so, you know, but they're in a spot right now where they're more expendable. And so they are not losing their job. You know what I mean? Right. And so, because Roman Reigns is the top of the line right now, you know, they're basically kind of joining the hip with Roman Reigns.
Right.
Someone like a John Morrison, unfortunately, he doesn't have that capabilities. So I wish that he would have just kind of waited it out a little bit. If this is true, I wish that he would have just waited out a little bit and just said something then. And maybe if John Morrison was at a higher spots and actually had something that went over, then he could have been more like, hey, so I noticed like 6 months ago you let go of my wife.
Yeah.
Maybe can you try to pull her back in? So
timing
is everything, Vince. Timing is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Out of all these releases, which one do you say that you are most surprised about?
I would probably say a Morrison, because, bro, didn't they just re-sign Jeff Hardy?
Yeah.
Wouldn't I look at Morrison in that category?
I
mean, absolutely. I really do, bro, because this isn't a guy that got older and got out of shape and doesn't have, like, I look at him in that category. So it's like, you know, you're giving Hardy an extension, but you're cutting a guy like Morrison, who's a solidified superstar, still looks good, still looks like a movie star. You know, bro, come on. I could probably name 6 names off the top of my head that I would release before him.
Yes.
That's why I'm thinking, unless there was issue.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, we're talking about, you know, Slapjack's friends, Who are they now?
Mason, T-Bar.
T-Bar and Mace. Bro, you're not releasing them before Morrison?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, this guy had star power.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You
and
know?
I think he'll be fine because he was winning like a bunch of belts, you know, in Mexico. And,
he'll definitely be fine.
Yeah, so I could see Khan grabbing him pretty quickly after.
Now he was at TNA for a while too, right?
He was in TNA for a while. He was an Impact champion too.
Yeah, so maybe who knows?
They may bring him back too. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, those are your wave of releases. Unfortunately, it seems like there might be some more.
There's going to be more. Tomorrow's Friday, bro. They dropped the hammer Thursday night. They're not going to do it on Thursday without there being more on Friday.
Yeah, and I can see that happening. Unfortunately, I hope it doesn't, but I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll find out. He's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. This is Riding with Russo. Solo. Bounty number 2. A rapper bounty. Solo.